How you guys doing? Today is Lamore. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a new video for you guys and ladies. Today I want to help my viewers, subscribers, whomever is watching this video today get samples. When it comes to getting samples of fragrances, specifically niche fragrances, it's a bit tough. When you go into buying designer fragrances, they have a plethora of fragrances that they can give out because they're usually owned by a conglomerate like a L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, depending on the brand. So they have abundance of money to make samples and gift for purchases. But then when it comes to the niche brands like the Amouage, Parfums de Marly, MFK, which is owned by LVMH as well. A lot of people don't know that. It gets a little bit tougher when it comes to getting samples, specifically or especially if you're going in and not purchasing anything. So I want to give you guys a little tips and tricks on how to get samples even when you're not purchasing anything, because sometimes you want to smell the scent, think about it, wear it on the skin, just to really get an effect, because dropping $400, $500, $300 on a fragrance can be a lot, sometimes. And I do get it, and being in the fragrance game for over 10 years, selling, managing, really knowing what customers want and consumers want, I've learned to, give out samples because it really helps the client understand what scent they want and when they want it, because it may be a delayed purchase or whatever. But today I'm going to show you 4 things you can do or ways you can get niche fragrance samples. So let's get it started. So the first thing you should do when you want to purchase or get a sample from a niche brand is go to a department store. A lot of people now are shopping at boutiques to get the full experience of the line. So say if you're going to Parfums de Marly, MFK doesn't have a boutique yet that I know of. But most brands, a lot of brands have boutiques, Le Labo or Kilian, they all have boutiques you can go to. And as you can see, when you go to Labo, you have to pay for a sample for sure. So go to a department store, whether it's Nordstrom, you can go to Bergdorf if you're in NYC, Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus, whichever store, Bloomingdale's, and go to a counter that you love and ask for a sample. That's the simplest way of getting a sample, because the department store have a lot of competition with other brands, so they really want to lure you in and get your money. So definitely going into a department store is a little bit more competition amongst the brands. And if you go to a boutique, they know why you're there. You're coming to either buy Parfums de Marly, MFK, Le Labo, Kilian. So they don't really have to entice you as much. Yeah, they're going to give you the full experience, of course, and it might be a little bit more knowledgeable, but you're not going to get the freebies, the free samples, the gift for purchase. Sometimes the department store will do their own gift for purchase as well. So that really heightens the way and the experience that you get, because at the end of the day, yeah, we want the fragrance, but we want the gifts with it. We want either the bag we're going to get, the wallet, the passport case, whatever gift they're giving at the time, even a discount. We want that, and department stores usually deliver when it comes to that. So the first thing you got to do is go into a department store when you want a sample. All right. Second thing you need to do when you're getting a sample or asking a sample, say you go to the department store and you want a sample from either Parfums de Marly, right? I would go to the counter. Me being a salesperson, I would go to the counter for sure and be like, hey, I have a few scents I want to try out. I'm not sure if I want to purchase yet, but I'm looking to see if I can get maybe 1 or 2 samples. That's the best way to do it, because off the rip, you're going to them and you're telling them, hey, I'm not purchasing today and I want to maybe try a few scents and get a sample of them. This will, kind of let the salesperson know how to sell to you, because if they're overselling, maybe they're pulling out all tricks and tips to sell to you, and it gets a little bit frustrating for a salesperson when, say, you pull up to MFK and like, hey, you want to sell MFK to them, and you're trying every trick in the book, offering 15%, offering gifts with the purchase, everything, and they're not purchasing. They just want the sample. So coming there and saying, hey, I want a sample, I want to try a few scents I'm thinking about, and I will purchase it in the future, but I just want to sit on it a little bit. They'll still deliver great service, but at least they'll know what the intentions are, and they'll service you in a way that you can smell the scent, or even leave you to smell the scents on your own. And if you ask questions, they'll let you know. So I think going head first in and telling them that you want samples, you want to try it a few scents, and definitely they'll give them to you when you're finished. All right. So that's a second trip. You're going to take a trip there, but a second trick you can do to get a free sample. All right. The third trick you need to do. Now, say you do get the service for the fragrance, right? And you smell them. You're like, hey, I want to get a Layton, and I'm just going to go with Aventus, right? So say you want to get the Layton and Aventus, definitely ask for the client's card. This will show that they gave you the service and that you're going to come back to them when you decide. Because that's a great way to build trust amongst the salesperson. So say if you do purchase it, you could contact them and you actually can buy it from them. And this will gain trust, and this will lead you to get more freebies. Trust me on this. Like, say if you go to, you have your favorite salesperson and you build a bond between them, they'll send you stuff on a day that you don't even expect it. They'll send you samples when you don't even want it. They'll send you new scents. Hey, I have this fragrance here, because you're building a connection with them. When you go there and then you ask for the samples, you're like, all right, buy. They already know you're going to buy it online or go to their competitor. So what's the point of them really sending you more samples or giving you more things? Now, if you build a connection with them and you go there and you ask for the business card and you actually do follow up, if you do purchase it, maybe you don't like the scent, you don't purchase, that's fine too. It happens. I get it. But say if you do purchase it or thinking about purchasing it, definitely reach out to the salesperson that helps you. It helps them a lot. It helps yourself a lot, because you will get in return more samples, more recommendations, better service. It just builds trust amongst the salesperson and the consumer. And this is a trick that a lot of people do not know, because they go for convenience. I'm just going to order online. But if you make that trip again and you go in there, or even they could send it to you. Like, say if you can't make it in the store, you can order it online with them, and there's many ways for them to ship it to you. The same way you could do it on your phone, and you'll get a plethora of samples with it, because they will thank you for coming back to them and building that trust. So that's my third trick you can do, and it's a very important one. So make sure that you do that. All right. Now, the fourth and last trick you can do is actually purchase a scent. Now, if you do want a fragrance and you're thinking about it, go into the store. I know a lot of times you want to go online, it's more convenient, you have other things going on. Definitely try to make a trip into the store. Go into the department store, whether it's Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, and actually go get the service. Now, if you go there, right, and you actually want to purchase, say, the Aventus, or I'll say the Layton, right, because I love parfums of Marley, and you go there and you actually are intended to buy something, you know, when you purchase that scent, they're gonna give you samples with it. And they're gonna give you a lot more than you think you're gonna get. They may even give you a 10 ml. I've gave 10 mLs of another scent that the fragrance brand was thinking about. A fragrance purchaser was thinking about. So say if they wanted Layton and they wanted Aventus, I'll give them a 10 ml of Aventus, which is a great size for travel in your bag to really get to know the scent, so you can make a future purchase for you. There's many gifts you can get with purchase, so make sure you go into the store, stick with a few salespersons, whether you have like four different ones or five. There's nothing wrong with that, but stick with a few, because you'll get more gifts. It'll show a better bond, and purchasing a scent will definitely get you in their good graces to get more samples and more things for you. So these tricks will really help you on getting freebies and getting extra samples and gifts. I've even seen salesperson give another full size bottle. either discontinued scent. I've seen so many things. I gave so many things when it comes to fragrances and fragrance sale, depending on the interaction, depending on how much you're buying. There's always incentives. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing online prior to in store, and really make that purchase in there, because you'll get abundance of gifts. All right. So that's the video I have for you today. Let me know in the comments what you think. For your next purchase, what are you thinking about going? You thinking about going online, or do you like to purchase in store? I really want to know in the comments what you guys do, because I know a lot of my viewers have a lot of fragrances. I want to know, how do they shop? Do you go into the store? Do you have a specific sale person that you go to, or do you just shop online? You're like, you know what, I want the convenience, which is nothing wrong with that as well. It depends on your way that you shop, but I'm just letting you know that going in a store will help you more, getting more things. All right, so give this video a thumbs up if I helped you, and subscribe for more. All right, peace.